What's going on, guys? My name's Chris from Houston, Texas, and I just had a hair transplant with Dr. Cinik's office here in Istanbul, Turkey. I just kind of wanted to go over a few quick hit things, kind of a short and sweet video so you guys kind of get a gist of what to expect if you're thinking about having a procedure done either at this office or somewhere else in Istanbul, so you kind of know what to expect. So I'm pretty sure the protocol is kind of the same for just about everybody here. So here we go. First day, what to expect. Airport. Just be prepared for a lot of foot traffic. This is a very busy airport. I'm not sure if all terminals are the same, but we got dropped off by a bus, so there was no jetway. Got off the plane, got on a bus, took us to one terminal. You have to look out for the baggage claim signs. There's a separate area for airport transfers, so a lot of people went there that were just connecting in Istanbul, but follow the baggage claim, you're fine. They're clearly marked. Special note, when you get there, you're probably more than likely going to see a really long line, and if you're not a Turkish citizen, that's the line you need to be in to get through passport control to get your baggage. The baggage claim signs kind of keep pointing past that area. I made the mistake of walking that way because I thought, maybe I get my baggage first. Maybe it was some weird setup, but no, I had to backtrack and get back in line. It took about an hour, 15 minutes to get through passport control, primarily because there's so many people and you gotta kind of get used to people cutting you off. People just cut in line blatantly. I don't know, it's just what they do here. You could be standing there in line for 30 minutes and someone just walks in front of you. It's just what they do. It's not a huge deal. If you like your personal space, you will hate it. It is what it is. They kind of funnel you through like cattle, but it's an hour out of your life. It's not a huge deal. Once you get through passport control, and side note, you probably don't even need a visa. They tell you you do. My guy didn't even look at mine. The guy in front of me, he didn't look at his visa either. They just look for your passport and stamp it, and you go. The guy didn't say one word to me. They could probably care less. But you might get somebody that cares, so go ahead and get that e-visa. It's like $20 online, and you get it in like 2 minutes, so just in case. Once you do that, you want to walk straight through. You'll see a big board that tells you which carousel your baggage is going to be at. Just FYI, by the time you get through passport control, your baggage is probably already going to be sitting on the floor waiting for you. Mine was. I walked around. Mine was at number 9, and I walked around a few times, and it didn't say Houston on it. It said, I think, Milan or something like that, baggage. So I had to walk around and look for luggage that was sitting out, and I finally found my bag. So just be prepared for that. Once you walk outside, the main exit, you're going to turn to your right. You'll see a giant Vodafone stand. I believe it's pronounced Ulger. Car rental is just to the left of that. It's also in the packet they give you when you sign up for a hair transplant. So basically you go in there, you show them your passport, they take a picture of your passport, so just be prepared for that because they send that to the clinic. They show them that you're there, and then the guy takes you. I was actually here maybe 10 minutes. There was another guy from Chicago that was here, and yeah, we both rode. There was just the two of us. We rode to the Elysium, the Elysium hotel. I think you have the option for the DoubleTree Inn if you want to pay more for that. I didn't. It's a really nice hotel. Also, just be prepared. Driving here, I had a little anxiety attack. They're very aggressive drivers. Lanes mean nothing. Speed limits apparently don't mean anything. And again, with the personal space, kind of with the cars, doesn't really mean anything. So just be prepared for that. Buckle your seatbelt. got to the hotel. The hotel's very nice. It's listed as a 5-star. I don't know if it would be a 5-star back home, but it was still really nice. Breakfast is included, and everyone speaks a fair amount of English. So after that, the next day I was picked up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Breakfast was at 6:30 downstairs. I was actually the only person in there. It's a whole giant breakfast buffet, massive breakfast buffet. I highly recommend eating a lot of starchy foods, carbs, and some protein just before you have the procedure. Just precaution. They want you to eat a lot of breakfast, not a lot, but enough breakfast before you have the procedure done. Took me to the hospital. Took 10-12 minutes. It's about 3.5 miles from here to the hospital. Hospital's fairly modern. It was pretty dark when we got there. The sun didn't come up for like another hour, but it seemed modern enough. Hospital you probably find back home. I was greeted by an associate of Dr. Cinik's downstairs. They took me to the I want to say the 5th floor. We actually meet Dr. Cinik, and he basically goes over your medical history. Just a quick: do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you have any allergies to medications? Any previous surgeries? They're very short and brief. And then he looks at your hair. He starts looking at your donor area, I guess to see how viable those follicles are. And then he kind of, looks over the top of your head and he kind of runs a comb through it. And then he starts to kind of draw your hairline. He doesn't use any special tools or anything. He does it freehand, but he's done so many of these. I trust him. He lets you look at it first and see what you think. I actually asked him about some of my temple areas here. You see, over time they were further back, and I said, could you maybe straighten that out and have it? And he said it wouldn't look that natural, and actually my temples hadn't looked like that since I was like probably 15, 16. They started to kind of thin out actually when I was like 18 or 19. So yeah, I would just go with what he says. If you disagree, he can redraw it, but I like the hairline that he drew. It's fine. He's done enough of these. After that, you get your blood taken. They take you into a nurse's office. They draw just a little bit of blood that they're going to use for your PRP after you have the implant. And then they also do a blood test to make sure you're healthy enough, I guess, to have the surgery done. So then they take you back up where you go to kind of like their office, and you meet. If you're an English-speaking person, you're probably going to be dealing with Sarah, S-E-R-A. It's really nice person to deal with. She, again, asks you if you had breakfast. They also take a picture of a copy of your passport, so have your passport with you, or an ID, because they make a copy of it. And they kind of ask you the same questions, and they kind of go over what's going to happen. And you sit outside. If you haven't made your payment, that's when you would make your payment. I did a wire transfer, so I didn't want to carry cash. It cost me like $26 to do a wire transfer on TransferWise, and it took about a week for it to go from my bank account to their bank account. After that, we're still waiting on the blood results to come back. They shaved my head. We sat down again, waited, and they got a message from the people downstairs. Blood work was okay. They said, okay, let's go downstairs. We were at the 9th floor at that point. I think we went back down to the 4th or 5th floor to have the procedure done. That office was actually it's a big office. They have a motorized table that looks kind of like a massage table. It's got the face cut out, so when you're laying flat. And that's when the anesthetic starts. And I know that comes up a lot in the forums about the needle pain. I will tell you this, I don't mind needles. Whenever I get shots, it doesn't bother me. I have a fairly high tolerance for pain. These hurt. These really hurt. So just be prepared for that. You might want to opt for the, if you have a low tolerance for pain, get the pain-free needle. It might be worth it. It felt like every time she was, not every time, but at least half the time, like the needle was on fire going under my scalp. And like I said, a fairly high tolerance for pain, and it hurt. It really hurt. And that only lasted about 10-15 minutes because they do all of your donor area first on the sides and the back. And then they fill it with, felt like some sort of liquid skin stretcher, because the back of your head gets really tight. I guess it helps getting the grafts out. So it just feels weird. You can feel them touching the back of your head, but it is not painful or anything. It's just weird. Also, the graft extraction was after that. I fell asleep for most of it. It was about 12 in the morning my time when this started, so I was pretty tired. So I fell asleep after maybe 10 minutes. You can feel the little motor extractor tool going into your scalp, but like I said, no pain at all. It's just, you just feel somebody touching your head, and they're constantly asking, pain, no pain, fine. Pretty sure I fell asleep, but they do kind of position your head several times, you know, to get one side of your head and the other side, and your face is kind of smushed a little bit. So it's a little uncomfortable sometimes, but it's not bad. Once that's done, Dr. Cinik actually came in a couple of times, just, you know, are you okay? And you give him the thumbs up. And after that, he came in to do the channels. There's an option to have the technicians do everything. I opted for the procedure, the exclusive package for him to do them. So he came in. Again, I fell asleep during his part, pretty much after he started. The little thing they leave stuck in your arm when they took the blood, they hook you up to an IV. So that's what it was there for. And I don't know how long he took. Like I said, I fell asleep. He woke me up, and they basically offer you like a sandwich and a little, it's like a Twinkie thing, like a Turkish Twinkie treat thing, and a box of juice. I didn't want the sandwich at the time, so I was still pretty full, but I took the sweets because I thought it might help, and the juice. And those are pretty good. After that, he said they were going to come in to do the implants. So they came in. Again, I fell asleep. I think it was about 2 hours for them to insert those. Yeah, it was actually pretty comfortable, I guess. And again, I was just dead tired, so I don't really remember much of it. But the whole, all in all, it was about 7 hours from beginning to end, which he told me up front. So it was right on the dot with the time. So once they're done, they sit you up. They do the bandages on your donor area. So those will come off tomorrow during my checkup. They basically go over with you after you get dressed. Oh, by the way, a lot of people ask this, what do I wear during the procedure? I wore this tank top because you want to wear something that either zips up, buttons up, or is easy to get off. It was cold, it was 37 today, so I wore this and like a cardigan thing that zips up. And you take those off, they put a gown on you. I just had sweatpants and some like Adidas sandals on. So they make you take the sandals off anyways, so you just have your socks, and then I would recommend wearing sweatpants or something, whatever's comfortable. Whatever shirt you're wearing, you take off anyways. Once that's done and you're dressed, you basically go back up to the area where you talk to Sarah, and they kind of go over the aftercare procedure, which doesn't really start till the next day, but they give you your bag of goodies, and it's all branded with the clinic's name. There's about, I think, 6 prescriptions, which you don't start till the next day. There's a painkiller you can start taking today, but they said they'll go over the first wash and how to take those, and they number each one 1 through 6, and they say you take them in this order. You take this many with breakfast, this many times a day for this quantity of pills, and that's it. So tomorrow I go in for my first wash, and then they're going to take me to the airport as I fly out tomorrow afternoon. So I'll keep posting videos on progress. Also, I'll try to put a picture on here of my before and after. I'll see if I can get some pictures from them. They took a bunch of pictures. Even during the surgery, the photographer came in. I kind of leaned up and I gave him, like, thumbs up, which they thought was pretty funny. But yeah, it all went smoothly. Everyone's really professional. It's like clockwork. A lot of people say you feel rushed, but I think they had about 5 or 6 other guys that were having a procedure done that day. But everything was fine. I mean, some people on forums complain they feel rushed, and it's a hair mill and yada yada yada. But I mean, for the price you're paying, back home I would have probably paid $15,000-$16,000 for this procedure. I paid about $29.50 for this, not including airfare. I think it was worth it. We'll see when the hairline grows in, so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. Starting to scab a little bit already. Not too bad. Obviously I can't see the donor area until tomorrow, but yeah, just let me know if you guys got any questions. I'll be, like I said, posting more videos probably in the next few days when I get back home. I'm a little bit more rested, and yeah, so let me know if you got any questions and I'll do my best to answer them.